Good morning. This is Dr. Michael Datcher, and welcome to the 445 Productive Through Joy show with your host and your boy, Dr. Michael Datcher. This show airs each weekday morning, hella early at 4:45 a.m. here on YouTube's Michael Datcher channel, then at 4:45 p.m. on Facebook Live. Guys, today we are talking about genius, a really interesting topic, as you'll see in a second. Can you elevate to the genius level? Can anyone access the genius inside of them? I'm going to argue that yes, they can. And then what is this idea of genius? And only certain people, genii, and who gets to decide who the genius is? And could that be you? So thanks for being here. We have a really interesting day planned today. If you are new, you can go to productivethroughjoy.com to see about us. We speak to groups, schools, and organizations about being productive through joy. Have me come out and speak to your group, school, organization. You can also become a subscriber here simply by pushing the subscribe button. And yeah, that's it. Let's dive into the topic. I should say a few words about myself. This is your host and your boy, Dr. Michael Datcher, author of the New York Times bestseller Raising Fences, author of the acclaimed historical novel Americas, author of the brand new Pulitzer Prize nominated Animating Black and Brown Liberation, A Theory of American Literatures. I'm also the board president of the World Stage, a great nonprofit in LA's Crenshaw District. My educational background is UC Berkeley as an undergrad, my master's from UCLA, and my PhD in English literature from the University of California at Riverside. Guys, I'm an expert at being productive. I don't say that to brag or boast. I say it because people are oftentimes surprised at my level of productivity when they hear about my crazy background. I'm the product of a young girl who was sexually assaulted at age 16. As a result of that assault, she gave birth to me at age 17, and I subsequently was given up for adoption at the age of a month. So at the time, to an amazing single divorcee. At the time, no biological father, no adopted father. Listen, difficult times for the young MD, yet it's cool. Modi famously said, "How you like me now?" And if I can be this productive and be so through joy, I believe certainly, that many of us can be productive in our own lane, of course, doing it our way. That really inspires me personally, inspires this business, certainly inspires this show, because we know it's not where you're from, it's where you're about to go. So thanks for being here. Let's dive into the topic. So again, we're talking about genius today. So it's first, I think, important to offer some context. So what does it mean to be a genius? I think a genius can be defined as someone who is operating at a level of achievement that is so dynamic, that is so powerful, that he or she has the potential, has the ability to make people, to move people to believe that they are geniuses. Which is to say that it's kind of hard to say that with authority that I'm a genius. Although that is actually a part of the process, as you'll see in a second. But you want to be able to have such a high level of success consistently that people recognize the genius inside of you, meaning that thing that seems to go beyond what is typically normal for most human beings. All right? Well, that's point one. How do you access that genius? Well, I would argue that you access it by what I would call tapping into the primordial. You think about who are some geniuses, genii. You think about John Coltrane, you think about Einstein, you think about Miles Davis, you think about Bob Marley. In all these cases, and I can give you 20 other cases, you think about these people, and those are all men. Let me throw some women in there as well who I believe are geniuses. You think about someone like a June Jordan, you think about a Barbara Christian, you think about a Sojourner Truth, you think about folks of that nature. And when you think about them, their ability to move people so powerfully that other people identify that what they're doing seems to be a thing that is beyond normal human capacity. And that's what geniuses do, genii do, right? They do things that seem to be consistently beyond what is possible. And so I would argue that they're able to do that by tapping into the primordial. You think about, if you know the story of Einstein, and another story of Coltrane. These are cats who were tapping into kind of what I'll say broadly is as a spiritual dynamic. You can call it energetic or spiritual, but they were tapping into what I would call the primordial, the thing itself. and able to access that thing, touch it and bring that into the world of phenomenon, right? And so that's a spiritual force. Again, this is kind of hard stuff that's hard to define because it's ephemeral, right? But it's tapping into the thing that was here before time, that is the thing itself. And we talk about that through meditation, about accessing that through meditation, going into what we call the trance state, which is what, if you know the Genius story, you know that many of those cats were into the trance. You think about like Coltrane especially. Is this Coltrane playing? No, this is dun, 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 dun. Oh, this is I know this tune. I can't recall this tune right now. I'm sure it'll come in a second. But you think about being able to access that type of power. And there are various ways to access that kind of spiritual state through trance, through meditation, through yoga. But the point is, you want to be able to access what I just call the God inside yourself, the spirit inside yourself, and then be able to get into that trance and then to put out that work. I think about Dwight Tribble, and be able to put out that work in a way that can move the souls, the primordial part of other people. I think that's what I'm really kind of trying to touch. Is when the God, the spirit, the genius inside of ourselves, the spirit inside of ourselves is so powerful that it goes out and it touches the genius inside other people. Because in our experience, when geniuses do what they do, they tend to inspire the highest in other people. They access the eternal realm that allows other people to be drawn into their genius, but also it inspires other people to want to do more, to be their true genius. So, which is point 3. When you're operating at your absolute genius level, you have the capacity and the ability to inspire people to access their highest level. And that's what I'm talking about, really being able to complete the circle by being your highest self and inspiring other people to be their highest selves. And that is one of the core elements of being the genius. Boom goes the dynamite. That's all for today's show. We air each weekday morning, hella early at 4:40. What tune is this? This is a very classic tune. I'm just dropping the name. This is Equinox by John Coltrane. That's what it is. Genius. Again, we air each weekday morning at 4:45 a.m. Here on YouTube's Michael Datcher channel, and at 4:45 p.m. on Facebook Live. Thanks for being here. I'm traveling again, so I'll be in February. I'll be in Marlborough College in Vermont, speaking about all manner of things, including genius, politics, culture, race, theory. Then I'll be in Taos, New Mexico, and other places coming up. So look for me. I'm sure I'm coming to a town near you. If you see me, come holla. All right, thanks for being here, guys. We'll see you this afternoon at 4:45 p.m. Until then, let's talk about it and be about it. Deuces.